Hello friends, my name is Mayank Jain and you are watching my YouTube channel Code AI Gyan. So in this tutorial, in this lecture, we will discuss majorly on the Python data types. So we are having different data types. So what is data type? Data type in Python is generally used to store any of the variables to make certain operation on it. So like suppose we are having different variables, and we're using those variable we store any of the information. So what we are having, so each variable has its defined entities. So how we actually define those things, so let's discuss on that part. So we have few data types, like we are having first uh, integer data type with us. Integer is one of the data type. Second data type, firstly I am writing all the data types associated with the Python programming language. Second is the float data type. Third one is uh, it's we have int, we have float, we have complex data type. Then we are having boolean data type with us. Then we have set data type, we have list. These are the collection oriented data types associated. We are having list, we have a tuple data type, we have a dictionary data type with us. So these all are the data types with which actually exist in the Python programming language, which it normally store the information in a particular programming whatever means. As right now we are using Python programming language, in each of the programming language like C, C++, Java, uh, uh, Node.js, everywhere you are having certain data types associated with that language. So those data types actually store the information inside it. So suppose in the in data type in the Python, suppose we define a is equal to 5. So what is happening? The value of a is 5. It means that in the variable a we are defining certain value 5, and a has certain space within a memory. So in the memory side, how we define those things, memory has a particular space which is carrying a variable a, and that variable contains the information inside a different memory location is value 5. So it's something like that. So in the memory management of a particular data type, it's also defined a particular uh, memory space. So here in the memory we have certain variable a which carrying information, value is 5. So it is a there are two things memory manage in a Python in a different way. So firstly we store the information, and we have a pointer which points a particular value with respect to this variable. So memory in the Python works in such a way, right? And if we define the second data type is a float, suppose we are defining p is equal to 1.5. So if we define that value, so it means that the value of the that data type b is equal to 1.5. So if we want to see any of the data type value, we can uh, directly make type b, and we can get the value of that. So in such a way we can check type of b with respect to defined data type. So suppose in similar ways, see, the third is the complex variable, complex data type. So complex data type is defined in the Python programming language. We'll show you later on that part. Suppose we are defining c is equal to complex, and then I define 3 comma 4. So it's directly mean that we are defining any of the variable like 4 plus 3 plus 4i. So we already know the representation of the complex variable. We have two values, and then we can represent that value in such a form. So if we make a type of c, it will gives us the value of this is a variable of uh, complex type, right? So when we do in such a way, then you can get the object type, object data type, which is associated with this. So this is so here we have a value of a, value of b, value of c. What these are the types of, these are the data types associated a particular value. So actually what is happening in the Python, everything is object, but in the other programming language we explicitly, like as we discussed, that we have a Python Java, we have Python Java, we have a C, C++. So in the case of C or C++ or Java side, if we go, so we, what we normally doing, we are explicitly, we normally define the data type, define the data type, like int a is equal to 5, right? Something like that. We have a variable a of int type whose value is this. But then in the case of Python, we can directly write that like this, and Python interpreter is directly assess that a value of a is integer type in such a case. So something like that is there. So in a similar way, suppose we are having a boolean value, we define this as a true value, right? If we define as true, true, then it is a boolean type. In similar case, now we have certain collections with us, and those collections we define in the form of set, list, tuple, and dictionary. So what we normally do in set, suppose set is a collection of uh, data types which contain different values. So in set, suppose we define set in such a way that if e is equal to this curly bracket, we define that, and the container is 1 2 3 5, right? So it is a representation of the set, and set is a collection of data type which is not repeating in itself, right? Set is, each element has its own entities. It would not be like this 1 2 2 3 3. So it would not be acceptable because each entity should be individual in nature, right? So this is not acceptable. Now comes to the next uh, entity, we have a list. So seventh is list. So in the list, what is happening, we have uh, it is a collection of different data types which carries the information, like suppose we are having two values, suppose we integer value, suppose we are having float value, suppose we are having string value with us, string values like mine, we are having right, value with us, suppose we are having some other value, set list, inside the list value we are having etc, something like that we are having. So these are the lists which contains different data type value inside the list, right? So this is one of the example. Tuples uh, are the collections which has same values as the list, but they are immutable in nature. These are immutable in nature. So what is the difference between list and tuple? Tuples define all the values in the in this bracket form, right? All the values what we are having here, we can place here, and inside that we have a different tuple as well. So immutable and list is mutable. List is mutable means change. Suppose we are defining in this particular list, and we are changing this float value, and with the first index, this is the 0th index, this is the first index. So suppose we are making this value is x is equal to this value we are having, and at any piece of time we are changing the value of x of 1, which is 1.5 over there, right? So this value we are changing to 10.2. So we are explicitly make a change to this value. So our list will change, but in the this is mutable. But in the case of tuple, we cannot change the value of any of the element which is present inside. So this is the tuple. And now we come to the part of the dictionary. So what is dictionary? In the case of dictionary, what we normally do, okay, we'll show this. So in the case of dictionary, suppose we have a dictionary. So what is dictionary? In the case of dictionary, we are having the value in the 8. We have a dictionary. So dictionary contains two types of value. It contains key as well as it contains value inside it. Suppose we are making certain records and it defined by like this, right? So suppose, let's say for example, on dictionary we have certain record of the student. Suppose we are having this particular dictionary which contains record 1 we are making here. It contains name of the student. Suppose we are defining name of the student is Manya, and then we define the age of the student is, suppose we are defining 7 years, and then we're defining the marks of the student uh, is 90, something like that we are making. And ahead of this we are defining a second record where the name of the student is Riddhi, age of the student is 8 years, and we define the marks of the student is 92. And then these, and then we have two different records of dictionary, and we can, if we want to extract that value, then how can we extract? We are defining record 1 of a student having a name of, if we write such kind of syntax, then we got the value of record of first student is what, this is the first record in the dictionary. We will get this value, right? Manya. So similarly we can operate any of the operation with the help of dict. So as a whole, in a Python programming language we have several we have you can say that several information. We have different data types with us, and how these data types are stored in a memory in a different form. So data type is very important part of the any of the language. We will do this in practical side, in on the VS Code or PyCharm side in detail, so you can understand all those things better. So these are the basic data types which is generally used in the Python programming language. So be confident and be consistent and achieve your dream. Today in this video we discuss what are the basic Python data types. We already discussed those things, and from the practical point of view we'll see here how all these things are work. So there are few data types, as every programming language has a different data type initiated, like C, C++, Java, Node.js. We have different data types, and in those data types we firstly explicitly define data type integer, and then we give the variable name, then we assign the value inside that variable. But in the case of Python, we directly write all those things. Suppose we are defining a is equal to 5 in Python programming language, and if we recall the value of a variable in the Python, that will give us a is equal to 5. So it means that the variable which we are defining here is a int type, and if we recall that value or print that value of a, it will give us 5. Well, so right now, before jump into the data type side, so this interface which we are seeing right away is it is a Jupyter notebook. where we can have all it is a Jupyter notebook interface where we have different line space with us, and we can execute in different cells in a single go. So what we did here, we assign a value a is equal to 5, which is an integer, and we print that thing. And if we check the what is the data type of this variable, so this is a special syntax through which we can check what is the type of e. So if we check this, then we are finding uh, the type of the variable a is in type. So suppose again we define any other variable like b is equal to 2.5, and we again check what is the value of p is 2.5, and we explicitly see by defining this syntax what is the type of this uh, b variable. So we can see here, as we already discussed in the video, the data type will be float over there. Suppose right now we are defining a complex data type, and we gave its value 2,6 over there, and there only sorry we there only we can give define the value of c. And here you can see that if as we are defining complex variable uh, over there, and then we print the value of c, we get a complex variable number. So there are few data types we already discussed. We have an int type, we have float type, we have complex type data type value with us. And if we check the what is the type of this C variable, it is a complex data type in the Python programming language. We have a different Python, we have a boolean operator with us if we're defining d is equal to true. If we are mentioning over there, and we check what is d, then the value of d is true. And if we check the type of this variable type, and this is the boolean type uh, variable which exists in Python programming language. Similarly, we have a string, we have a set, we have a list, we have a tuple, we have a dictionary with us. So one by one we can check all those things. So so you can refresh all those things. We are defining the basic thing over there. So suppose we are having a certain set set a value we are defining 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and with respect to this, if we define what is set a value, it is given as it is giving me the all the values associated. And then if we check the value of what is the set a, this is set type. So set, we already know that if we have a two different sets, and we can find any intersection between them, we can find any union associated with this, all other operation we can perform accordingly, right? So this is one of the data types present in the Python programming language. Then comes to the list. Suppose we have a particular list, and we already explain that in the list we have a different value. Suppose we have a 5, one of the element, we have a 2.5 values. It means that we have a integer data type, we have a float data type, we have a any other data type like complex data type, we are having a particular string data type. String data type is like we are defining any of the value. Suppose we are defining Manya over there. This is the string data type. Suppose we are having a particular list inside the list 2 comma 2, and then this is the list. This is a collection which contains list is a collection which contains different data type inside that list, right? So if we print list of a over there, then you will see we will get all the information associated, or we have which is present inside this, right? So if we check the type of the uh, list a variable name, then we got the type is list, right? This is the different this is one of the data type which we are having, correct? So let's go with other data type. We have one more data type. Suppose we are going there correctly, and this is one of the data type we are having. Oh, closing parenthesis, but we don't. So this is one other thing. Uh, what is that? Means we got the error in line this, because in the tuple what we are having, tuple will open with the with this bracket, and we make a mistake over there. That's why it was showing some error with us, right? So if we mentioning over there what is the type of the data type, it is a tuple. So syntax is same in the case of list and tuple, but in the tuple uh, round we use round bracket in the tuple, but in the case of list we have a square bracket. And what is the difference between list and tuple? List is what? List is mutable, means we already discussed that we can change the value of any index and we get the result. Suppose we are having this list A with us, and we are assigning the value of 1, which is 2.5. Zero index is this one, and 2.5 is the first index. This zeroth index, this is the first index, and we assign this value to 10, right? And then we again print the value of A. Then you can see here the value of the index 1 is changed to 10 over there, correct? But if this is called mutability, we can change the value of each element within a list. We can modify this is the mutability of of the property of the list. But in the case of, suppose we are having this tuple and we want to change the value of its second index, first index, to something like 20. So this value should be changed 2.5 to 20 in this, in such scenario, right? But if you see here, type error, tuple object does not support item assignment. So this is not the property of tuple through which you can change its element value inside this, right? So this is called immutable property of the tuple. So you can directly see this, right? So this we have already suggested in the previous video with you, right? So now comes, there is one other uh, data type left with us, which is the dictionary. Suppose we are defining a record 1 with you, and this record contains few information. That the dictionary, now we are discussing about dictionary. Dictionary is a key pair combination of the values, right? Suppose we are giving a particular name is Manya, and here what we are defining, the marks is the Manya is 90, right? And we are printing those things. Suppose then record one we are printing, we got this list, we got this dictionary. And suppose we want to get this value by this key, using this key. So how can we extract this record one? So this is the syntax for finding the name of the one name key. We put the name key over there, and then we got the value. So these are the basic thing which we can define with respect to Python basics. If we want to see what are the data types associated in Python programming language, so we can do these exercise on top of that. So please check out those things on different editors, so that you can build confidence to learn the basics in the Python programming language. So that's it. So thank you for patience hearing, and try to get some hands-on on the these basic things. Thank you.